chapter 4. You have your phones, you have access to the Bible. I'll wait. Luke chapter 4. We're on a journey of fan follower and synonymous with follower disciple. And also, so we're going to, those words will be interchanged throughout this series. As a pastor, I feel like for where City Church needs to go and where City Church is, we need to spend a little bit of time getting deeper in our walk and in our discipleship and becoming followers, not fans. And so we're going to take some time this summer. Traditionally speaking, people that don't have a relationship with Jesus seem to attend more around holidays and back to school stuff. The summer, generally speaking, is people that are walking with Christ and call to the church at home. And so we're going to dial in on being discipled. And if you are new to us and maybe in the walk with faith, I ask you to listen to what the Holy Spirit is saying to you, not just to me. So in that, in our journey of discipleship, I want to put pressure on you. I want to strongly encourage you to have your Bibles or your phones open each week. That's part of being a disciple, getting in that habit. Luke chapter 4 is where we're going to start. Luke chapter 4. Preston, give me full name. All right, Luke chapter 4. Wait. Discipleship. Luke 4. And Jesus, full of the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan and was led by the Spirit in the wilderness for 40 days, being tempted by the devil, and he ate nothing during those days. And when they were ended, he was hungry. I love how the Bible shows the humanity of Jesus. He was hungry. I love how the Bible reminds us that he was fully man and fully God. Verse 3, the devil said to him, if you are the Son of God, you are the Son of God, command this stone to become bread. Jesus answered him, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone. And the devil took him up and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And he said to him, to you I will give all this authority and their glory, for it has been delivered to me, and I give it to whom I will. That's not authority, we'll talk about one day. If you then will worship me, it will all be yours. And Jesus answered him, it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve. And he, the devil, took him to Jerusalem and set him on a pinnacle of the temple and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down from here, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you to guard you. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against the stone. And Jesus answered him, it is said, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test. And when the devil had ended every temptation, he departed from him until an opportune time. And Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit. Let's pray one more time. Jesus, I need your help. I need your energy. We need to hear from you. Let today be about you and change lifestyle, not persuasive fruits of man, but the influence of the Holy Spirit. All say the church said. Amen. Amen. So I went to Arizona Rapids football game yesterday. I went to Bowl Wars. And I'm a little concerned with the people that live in the tickets, watching those fans at that big hospital. I'm not. I got to my talk with my wife. I said, it was like the football game was like a monster truck demolition derby, WWE football game concert, all in one. I've never seen so much red on so many necks in one place as that. And there's some crazy old fans. I mean, like face painted, crazy fans at that thing. I'm like, no, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. And we won. We won by 1 point in overtime. We won. If it matters, we won. We won. Yeah, so that's off the bucket list. Fan or follower. Part of being a disciple, being a follower of Christ, as the disciples were being disciples and growing and being followers, Jesus used the word. He called them apostles. And he brought this word apostle, not a Christian word, it wasn't a Jewish word. He pulled it out of the Roman world. He pulled it out of the Roman world, and he said, I call you apostles. And an apostle in that time, coming out of the Roman world, the largest government at the time, the known world, as they were advancing and building the Roman roads and all the construction of what was happening, an apostle in the Roman world was sent to new areas, new communities, new cities that the Romans would take over. And the apostle was to make that new area, that new geography, that the apostle's job was to make that area look like the kingdom that sent them. Okay? So an apostle was to go and make a colony look like the kingdom that sent them. We've got a little, we've kind of twisted Christianity away from that. Listen to me. The colonies were never designed to populate the homeland. When the United States was settled, these colonies were not designed to populate the homeland. Colonies were designed to bring the atmosphere of the homeland. And as apostles, we are designed to bring His kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. To change our area to look like the kingdom that sent us. And unless we're discipled and empowered, we will fall short of that appointment. You with me? You with me today? Okay, I need a lot of help today. Do not look at me like you're tired. I'm tired. Okay, so you look energized, you help me preach. So let me explain something to you. If you help me preach, I stay dialed in when we get out of here and beat the Baptist of Golden Corral. Amen. If you don't help me preach, I'll just start wandering and we don't know when I might end. There we go. All right. You gotta help the pastor out today. The pastor needs your help. I will say each week a couple of statements, and one of them is this. Discipleship laid out by Jesus is God's plan for the human condition. I believe that. I want to get that in us. Discipleship laid out by Jesus is God's plan for the human condition. If I'm fully discipled, when I'm in a chaotic situation, I have peace. If I'm fully discipled in my rest life, I have self-control. If I'm fully discipled, when I feel ashamed, I feel, when shame comes on me, I feel valuable. When I'm fully discipled, when I seem purposeless, I realize destiny. When I'm fully discipled, I have anger doesn't control me. Oh, my bad. In Christian world, we don't get angry, do we? I'm not angry. I get frustrated.
You go, Pastor.
Yeah. No, I wasn't angry. I'm not yelling. When I'm fully discipled, I'm tapping into God's cure for the human condition. And quite honestly, that ought to energize me for my destiny. That should energize me. It shouldn't be laborsome to be discipled. It should be energetic to be discipled because it gets me closer to my apostolic influence. Apostle community. Apostolic influence. Okay? It gets me closer to my apostolic influence. When I'm closer to my apostolic influence, I'm not living from earth to heaven. I'm living from heaven to earth. And the thing is, discipleship is not a 6-month program with some future graduation date. That's not how it works. If discipleship isn't, well, I'm going to get serious about my walk. No, discipleship is much greater than that. It's much greater than that. Matthew 10 says this. Look at this. This is Jesus. If you have your Bible in a written Bible, this is probably in red. Matthew 10:25 says, it is enough for the disciple to be like his teacher. That word enough means in every way. In every way, way, you have enough when you become like Him. It is enough. He satisfies every area of your life. He brings a sense of contentment. He brings a sense of multiplication. He brings a sense of blessing. He brings a sense of increase. It's enough. This is good news. It's enough for a disciple to be like his teacher. We live in a culture that screams more, more, more. If one candy bar is good, get two. That's the culture we live in. But Jesus is saying, no, it's enough. It's enough to be like your teacher. I will be your enough. And it's a contentment. And by the way, Jesus didn't invent discipleship. I don't know if it's kind of a left field statement, but John the Baptist had disciples. The rabbis before Jesus had disciples. The Greek philosophers, Socrates, had disciples. Jesus was just taking a word, a disciple, and a disciple is one, listen, a disciple is a learner, but not just a learner. A disciple is one who embraces a life that they can embody themselves. That's a disciple. I wrap my arms around, I embrace a life that I can embody, that changes my nature. You with me? It changes my nature. And here's the deal. We live in a culture that's so consumed, so busy with trying to be like the Kardashians or trying to be like the latest business leader. We get so consumed with trying to do what they do so that we can get the life that they have. We get so consumed trying to get the life that they have that we miss the life we were promised. Come on. We get so wrapped up in getting their life that we miss our life. When I embody discipleship, Jesus says this in Matthew 11:28. Jesus says this. He says, "Come to me, all who labor." Look at this. All who labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Now, I don't have a lot of time to talk about yoke. Let me just give you the imagery of what Jesus is saying here. When it comes to oxen, it was frequent when oxen would do the plowing. It was frequent that a young oxen would be yoked with an older experienced oxen, and the older experienced oxen would carry the weight of the yoke and drive the plow, teaching the younger oxen how to grow in that role and their destiny of being able to run the plow. And Jesus is saying, come to me and I'll take the yoke. My yoke, it's easy. My yoke is easy, my burden is light, and you'll learn from me. And listen, this is why it's important that we learn from him. Watch what he says. And you'll learn from me, I'm gentle, lowly in heart, and you will find, watch this, you will find rest for your soul. I ask you, when was the last time you gave rest to your soul? Not your mind, not your body, your soul. Jesus says there's one way to have rest in your deepest being. Come hang out with me. Come hang out with me. And I'll give you rest in your soul. In your soul, your character, your being. To be Christian by name, listen, you're going to hear this each week. To be Christian by name and not nature is completely unfounded. It's completely unfounded. To be Christian by name and not soul, not nature. And here's the truth matters, you can't make an evangelistic decision for Jesus. You cannot make a true evangelistic decision for Jesus and not have a lifestyle change. You can't. we have to be able to embrace and reorganize our life around Him. That's being a disciple, that's making a disciple. Learning to embrace and reorganize my life around what Jesus says. The Great Commission says, go and make disciples. Go make people that will change their life and embrace around me instead of me having to be around them. I wonder how good we are at preaching that gospel. See, really there's two gospels. One gospel is the gospel of salvation. The gospel is good news. Then one gospel, one good news is the gospel of salvation. One good news is the gospel of the kingdom. Salvation is in the kingdom and so much more. So much more. And unfortunately, we teach very frequently we teach just the gospel of salvation. And that's a dangerous place to stop. Because all that does really is make you a mailman. Listen, any of us in this room, we do not care about the character of our mailman. We just want the message delivered. Come on. It's in the kingdom that I find salvation, and in the kingdom, my character changes. We've got to be better as a church, as a people. If we're going to make disciples, we've got to communicate the gospel of the kingdom, not a limited gospel of simple salvation. Are you tracking? I hope you're with me. I know this series can be challenging for some of us. But if we stop at just the gospel of salvation, that says I don't have to change my lifestyle. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. This is my get out of hell free card. I'm good. I don't deny that we can be forgiven and live this kind of life. But how boring, how limited, how frustrating to know that I'm connected with the most powerful person, most powerful power in the universe. I'm connected divinely with, I have a personal relationship with, and yet I still struggle every day with the simple things of life because I won't be discipled. See, the test for discipleship is not, am I forgiven? The test for discipleship is does my behavior, my desires, and my attitude change? Is a true change in me? Very quickly, I just grabbed 3 verses very quickly. Just what Jesus says that we're a disciple. John 10:10, he says, I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. Abundantly. I came that you have life and have it abundantly. Let me ask some imposing questions. Do you feel like you have an abundant life? Do you have abundant peace? Do you have abundant joy? Do you have abundant love? Do you have abundant victory? Do you have abundant forgiveness? Have you received abundant forgiveness? Have you given abundant forgiveness? See, abundance means more than enough. He says, I came that you would have an abundant life. I came to give you life, be a disciple, and that life would be abundant. If you're not feeling abundant, I wonder if you're being discipled. John 5:12 says, whoever has the Son has life. And that life is fully encompassing. Ephesians 2:5. Even when we were dead in our trespasses, He made us alive. He made us alive. He made us alive. See, here's the deal. Here's the deal. There's no barrier that can limit Him from pouring out His love. There's no coastline that can measure the depth of His love. There's no valley too deep, no mountain too high. Come on, we've heard this before. There's no barrier that can hinder Him from pouring out His love. But discipleship is non-negotiable. The discipleship is really admitting that Jesus is right about my reality. Let that land. Discipleship is admitting that Jesus is right about my reality. So therefore, I change my life to embrace that reality. Okay, are you getting this? Instead of trying to make my reality satisfy Jesus, I make His reality change me. And again, I said, it's called walking in the Spirit. This isn't, okay, here's how discipleship works. Like you disciple 12, and then 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 I'll disciple 12, and then, well, who discipled what? No, I'm going to walk in the Spirit. I'm going to walk in the Spirit. And I'm going to embrace His reality to make it my reality. And I would be a little Christ, a Christian, not by name, but by nature. Therefore, I will result in what? The abundant life, which what? Has an apostolic influence. I'm no longer populating heaven. I'm changing the colony to look like the kingdom that sent me. Oh, there's so much more. Here's the deal. Let me ask you this question. Here's the question we ask in conversations. Especially when we meet people. Yeah, you know, Michael. What do you do? Like, the conversation is, we're good at this, especially in church. We're good at this one. It's like 8 seconds, it's not deep, I can move on. Like, how you doing? Great. What do you do? I'm an electrician. Cool. Are you busy? Mm-hmm. Nice to meet you. Good talk. That's what we do. Oh, how was your week? Good. Good. Thumbs up. Busy? Woo! I need 2 cell phones. Good talk. What if we change that question? What if we ask this question? Hey, Freddie, how you doing? Who are you becoming? What if that was the question? It shortens the conversation, but it's a much deeper one. Who are you becoming? That's a super important statement, because listen to this. If you're not intentionally being discipled by Christ, listen to me. If you are not intentionally being discipled by Christ, you are unintentionally being discipled by our culture. There's no neutral. If you are not intentionally being discipled by Christ, you are unintentionally being discipled by our culture. And so I ask, who are you becoming? Jesus or Kardashian? Come on. And if we don't get discipled, our views never change. Listen, that's why we can be so frustrated. If I don't get discipled, my view of finances never changes. My view of forgiveness never changes. My view of healing never changes. My view of thinking the best about others never changes. My view of our government never changes. I live in this cultish hole. Why? Because I never change my view. Why? Because I've never been discipled and my nature doesn't change. And listen to me. Here's something that's true. Your nature is dying unless you're feeding it. Amen, Pastor. You're preaching good today. Thank you. I appreciate the accommodation because I'm tired. Listen to this. Dallas Willard. I think I have this quote to put up for you. Dallas Willard. Not related to Shane Willard, one of our guest speakers. Dallas Willard. The path of spiritual growth and the riches of Christ is not a passive one. Grace is not opposed to effort. It is opposed to earning. Effort is action. Earning is attitude. Wow. Salvation, listen. Salvation is rescuing you. Listen, salvation is rescuing you from the human you were never meant to be. Discipleship is developing you into the dream He has for you. Okay? Salvation. But there has to be a graduation. We aren't good at this in our Christian walk. We want easy. We want smooth. We don't want to be necessarily have a change. But Jesus makes a cultural change just in the words He says. The scripture, and I don't have time to go through, but the scripture, it says, live by the word. Live by the word. Jesus later flips that. He flips that. And he says, beyond living according to the word, he says this, live according to your faith. You can't live according to your faith if you've not lived according to the word. There has to be a growth pattern if we're truly being disciples. And it's not always easy. I admit that. What is easy, I said this last week and I'll probably say it each week, is the easiest part of our journey of being discipled, the easiest part of our journey of being discipled to compromise is our time in the Word and consistency in church. Those are the easiest parts to compromise because, frankly, they don't feel productive. I got too much to do. I got busy. I got, you can't believe all I got to get done. Out of time in the morning, out of time at noon, out of time at night. I am not out of time. Wow, are you kidding me? That is just not a productive way to spend my time. You know what I do? I'll pray while I drive. That's what I do. I'll pray while I drive. That's what I do. I pray while I drive. Which is good. I hope you pray while you drive. Have you been in the city? You got to pray while you drive. But if that's the only time you pray, that's distracted praying. When do you pray when it's just you and Jesus? Just you and Jesus. You say, well, it doesn't seem productive. Or this line. Pastor, I don't read the Bible because every time I read it, I forget what I read. Okay, all right. Question. What did you have for lunch last Tuesday? You got no idea. But you still benefited from the nutrition. Come on. Yeah, you know, like if you're in that was like, crap, now I gotta read. It's the practice of spending time. Practice doesn't make it perfect. Practice makes it possible. Practice makes it possible. At the end of June, the last Sunday of June, Mo Morris and myself were running in a half marathon. This would be my fifth half marathon to run, the fourth one. It was my fifth half marathon to run in. And I started with running just 2 or 3 miles at a time. And then 2 or 3 miles at a time. And then 4 or 5 miles at a time. And then 6 or 7 miles at a time. And I remember the first time I ran 10 miles and thinking, I'm an idiot. An idiot. But when I crossed the line at 13.1 miles, I go, this is why I ran 3 miles. Read here. We started by reading Luke chapter 4. We started by reading what's called the temptation of Christ. And I'm going to take that scripture apart next week and show some pieces of it. As a foundation, we started today reading the temptation of Christ. And Jesus was baptized in water, and after he was baptized in water, he was led into the wilderness, and then he spent 40 days in the wilderness. He spent on a 40-day fast. He didn't eat for 40 days. We read today that he was hungry. I did one 40-day fast in my life. I've done one 40-day fast. I didn't know this, but during my fast with my family, whenever I would leave the room for whatever reason, my family would run to the pantry and the refrigerator and stuff their faces, and then I'd come back to the room and act like nothing had happened. They wouldn't eat in front of me. They were like, that's how they lived for 40 days. They looked like rats. They would run and feed their faces. No, I didn't know that. at the end of my 40 days, at the end, Tracy said to me, she made her first two statements at the conclusion of my 40-day fast was, I am so proud of you, don't ever do that again. On day 38 of that fast, it was a Thursday night, and Saturday, I was going to be able to eat on Saturday, day 40, I was like, yay! And Tracy and I were sitting at our kitchen table late one night, children were all in bed, we were giving them NyQuil, they were asleep, and you go 40 days without food and have 6 children. You use NyQuil and duct tape. I feel better. So we're sitting there, and Tracy, she says to me, day 38, and she says, man, and she would be encouraging, but she says, I didn't think you'd make it. About this being a compliment. So she says, what's your first meal going to be? And I'm like, the thought of eating food, it just, I started weeping. I mean, I'm crying. The thought of eating, just, I had no, and I'm sitting at the table, and she's looking at me like, what are you going to eat? And I'm like, I got the hubba hubbas going on. I'm like, I didn't remember the child silent cry. I was like, she's like, breathe, dude. I was an emotional mess. And so I finally just blurted out. I finally just go, I'm hungry for it. And she's like, yeah. Pizza! I wasn't hungry for pizza. I did not want pizza. It's just the only word I could say. So whenever it came out, it was just pizza! But the thought of eating overwhelmed me. And we read that Jesus for 40 days, that food, he was hungry. For food. And a new character enters the story of Satan. And he tempts our Christ with quite honestly the single largest temptations of all mankind. The epitome, the defining temptation of all temptations. He lays before him. And Christ says, I've been saying no. 40 days. I've been saying no every day. I've been saying no. I've been saying no every day. I can draw from my reservoir of no and say no to your temptation. I've been discipled, and I can draw from that reservoir. I can say no to your temptation. I can say, devil, this opportunity for me to fail is really, listen, this opportunity for me to fail is really a chance to show you who I've become. So when I spend time in the Word, I don't know why I'm spending time in the Word, and I feel like I forget the Word. I don't see its effectiveness, and why should I put off my busy schedule and do this, and what if I'm too tired, I should put it off, and why should I stay in the Word? Because I'm not going to promise you there's going to be a time in your life, there's going to be a challenge in your life, there's going to be a place in your life where all of a sudden, you're not going to realize it, but all of a sudden those 3 miles you ran get you through a marathon. All of a sudden you're going to be able to go, oh, you know what? No, I am more than a conqueror. Oh, yeah? Goodness and mercy, they follow me all the days of my life. Wait a minute, I'm created in the image of God. Oh, I am the head, I am not the tail. Oh, just wait a doggone minute. I will pass through the valley of the shadow of death. Oh, what's it say in Galatians? I no longer live, but it's Christ who lives in me. And by that promise, I live a fulfilled life. Oh, you know the plans you have for me? To give me a hope in the future and not to hurt me? Oh, wait, I hid your word in my heart. Now I'm not going to sin against you. Oh, wait, you lead me by still waters. You killed the small foxes and tried to destroy my fruit. Oh, wait, You know my days before I lived them. You got the hair of my head counted. You know how many tears I have. You're coming soon. I got to return to my first love. In the beginning, God gave. He loved so much that His Son died. All of a sudden, those verses start coming alive in me. And I'm like, devil, I've been reading this Bible every day for 30 years. And today, I'm going to show you who I've become. I am not going to show you what I'll fall to. Amen. That's why I get excited. Lisa, if you'll come up. We've sang songs. And we've been to church. And we've read the Bible. And we've had the Christian conversations. We only listen to Caleb. And I only watch G movies. But I'm still prisoner to my addictions. And I still want the hidden guilt. And I still feel alone. And every day my mask gets a little tighter. I really start believing that's it. And every day I shrink a little bit more away from it. What I'm destined to be. I'm not. I'm determined to be discipled by Christ, so that you're a disciple of me. You want to know the first step to discipleship? We like that, especially men. Aren't you men like that? Our wives go through the problem like, let's get out of yellow path and make a 4-step plan to solve this little problem. I'm like, no, I want to solve the problem. I want to tell you about it. Don't tell me about it unless we're going to solve it. A. B. Back up. Okay, this would be the. We like, what's the plan? What's the formula? I'll give you a formula for discipleship. I'll give you step 1 of discipleship. Formula, step 1. Spend time with Him. Stand. You're able. In the middle of the night, Tracy and I, we took our daughter's cat to a 24-hour veterinarian. What the heck is a 24-hour veterinarian? How come there's so many people there? So we took our dog's cat. The cat appeared to be not doing well after all that happened last night. So I was taking through our sermon, our message today, and I wrote this. I don't know what time it was. What time were we there? Were we in the morning? You cannot. You cannot sustain your Christian walk on someone else's revelation. Listen, you cannot sustain your Christian walk on someone else's revelation. God does not want you to be an echo. He wants you to be a voice. I take what I do very seriously. What I bring to you every Sunday morning, I pour my life into it. I spend hours, I pray, I research, I listen to the Lord and to other voices, other mentors, and seek the Holy Spirit. And I try to live a righteous life. And I'm telling you, on my most righteous day, on the day that I'm killing it, I read the Bible and I pray for 4 hours and I give extra and I help people cross the street and I drive with patience and I'm kind to my family on my best day. My righteousness is filthy rags. On my best day, my righteousness is filthy rags. And the only food you're getting is the result of my filthy rags, you are not disciples. We need to be here. I didn't just say stop coming. We need to be here. We need to gather. God calls me to pastor you, not just to preach to you, but to love on you and serve you and pray for you, know the condition of my flock and invest in you and lose sleep over you. And I'm called to do all that, and I do all that. But you can't sustain your Christian walk on someone else's revelation. You're not to be an echo, you're to be a voice. As the band takes us in this last song, we talk about the goodness of God. I'm going to ask you this morning, will you make a decision, will you make a commitment? Lord, I'm going to change my nature. I'm going to be a disciple. I'm going to make that commitment today. Maybe it's just in one area. Lord, I want to be a disciple. I want to be better at forgiving. Lord, I want to be better at living in peace. Lord, I want to be better with my finances. Lord, I want to be better in believing the best. Lord, I want to be... What's the one area? Who are you becoming? The band leads us in this. Who are you becoming? Dismiss in a few moments. Want to be disciples? Step one, spend time with Him. And this morning I ask you, in these next 2 or 3 minutes, spend time with Him. See, here's the deal. A.W. Tozer says this, that any sermon that doesn't bring a person to a point of decision is nothing more than a one-sided conversation. Today I bring you to that point. You make a decision. You make a decision to have your nature be like His. We'll dismiss in a few minutes. Lord, I thank you that you give rest to my soul today. The burdens that I carry, the anxieties and the fears. I thank you that it can be well with my soul, not by what I do, but because of your grace and power. Lord, I pray that we, the City Church, become like you, our nature changes. That we would live your kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. And that's our heart. Father, I thank you for the opportunity to share your word today. I thank you for the privilege it is to speak your name. I thank you for the great grace that you pour out on all mankind when we choose to receive that grace. Lord, I pray when we leave here today, we really want to start answering the question, who am I becoming? I ask this in Jesus' name. Jesus' power.